Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another Source Diva Podcast episode. Yes, I have changed the name of the podcast to the Source Diva Podcast. It's just everything is going to be Source Diva because it was first Sacred Embodiment Podcast, and then it was Source Embodiment Podcast. And then I was like, you know what? Ultimately, because I genuinely have a massive soul pull to help women, we're just going to call it the Source Diva Podcast. So, welcome back to another episode of the newly rebranded Source Diva Podcast. I hope you're doing so well. I am so excited to get into today's podcast episode. It is literally the most perfect, sweet, short, and simple situation that you need to understand that's going to keep building this momentum for you and ignite this fire and passion, okay? Also, too, I'm not editing this podcast. So if you hear me clear my throat, you hear chaos, you see me fly, swap my hand around to get a gnat. Girl, I'm human. I am human. So we're just going to enjoy it, okay? Now, I do want to say Source Diva Bootcamp class is dropping this Saturday. That is June 13th, okay? Super excited. It's a 2-hour class. It's going to have all the beautiful foundations you will need to prepare you for Source Diva Bootcamp, the actual program. I made this class as kind of like a tester. It's a prerequisite too, but it's also like a tester of how you can hold your energy. Because if you do really, really well in Source Diva class, if you like the information that I share here on the podcast, and then also on Instagram, then you're going to love Source Diva class, okay? And entrance is super affordable. This class will be forever foundations for the rest of your life. And then if you feel really good about that class and you're like honing in, doing the thing and doing all the things, and you're able to hold yourself, right? Because this is a very big accountability piece. I can give you all the answers, but you're the one that has to hold that strain. Then you're going to absolutely fucking thrive in Source Diva Bootcamp, the actual program. So I'm very excited. But today's podcast episode, like I said, is short, sweet, and simple. And it is on this idea of electricity. I'm probably not saying that right. But essentially, like the strain that you can build and how this strain causes the explosion. So essentially, how I see it and view it. And this is really true for me because obviously, of course, everything that I do, I use my intuition to navigate certain situations, how I hold conversations, the way that I show up, the way that I hold myself energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, all connected to God and to Source being that ultimate direction for myself when I connect my intuition in that sense with God and with Source and my higher self. Okay. So when I talk about this strain, if you think about an elastic band, okay, let's say you have an elastic band and you're pulling it on one end and you're like pushing it out, right? That strain, when you let it go, causes an explosion essentially. Like the energy just explodes and it swings forward, okay? But all the strain that it takes to get there, it's a lot of pressure, it's tight, it's uncomfortable, it is a lot of condensed energy all in one space, all really placed in multiple different spots inside of like the elastic band that you're pulling back, okay? I might have to change because the sun started coming out and I like raised the exposure because it was dark in here, but now the sun's coming out. We're just gonna go with it. It's okay. So this being said, you and the way that you hold yourself is basically like the elastic band being stretched out and all those little points where it is micro segments of energy where things are strained and condensed and uncomfortable and tight is the points where you can use intuition to hijack it and build it stronger, okay? Because you know how sometimes there's elastic strings or rubber bands that you pull, and when you pull it too hard, it snaps. But then there's those elastic bands that when you pull it really, really hard, it still does not snap. And then when you let it go, it goes even further, okay? I want you to think of the way that you hold yourself and your intuition during these condensed moments where you're in tight situations, uncomfortable situations, or circumstances, or dealing with certain things. I want you to think of your intuition as that pinpoint that strengthens that bond inside of that elastic in order for it to have the most powerful foundation where you can stretch it so far. And the more that you stretch it and lean into that stretch, the further of momentum it gives you, okay? Because your intuition, which can be trained, you can train this gut feeling that you have. The more that you get into the routine of clearing your energy, pulling back away from external distortion, the more that you begin to become aware of your own deep, innate, and embodied connection with God and with Source and your higher self, the more that you do that and genuinely listen to your intuition, the more that you can build these strong, like the strong set of intuitive skills or embodiment where you can literally use every single opportunity to your advantage to further build a structure and a firm hold on your momentum that you build and any situation that you experience. Because a lot of the times, like when we experience things, those little moments and those little segments, right, become weak because our emotions get in the way. And we're not processing things with our intuition. We're processing things through our emotions and our reactivity and our subconscious mind. But when you come back and pull into the energetic part, the ultimate source truth of everything, where there is perfection in everything, and you can intuitively see the situation, the circumstance, whatever is going on, get your emotions neutral and low, then you can actually use those little segments where it's uncomfortable to kind of shed even more light on them. And that's where your intuition comes in, is literally adding light onto the situation and making it bigger so you can build it stronger so it can be used to your advantage to push you further. And this literally goes with absolutely fucking everything. It's something that unknowingly I've done for so many fucking years. And I love this so much because I've been on my spiritual journey for over 10 years, but this past like 2 years have really taken the next level of my growth, where it's like now everything just is so precise and clean and like held in this very strong embodiment of how can I integrate every single moment through the strength of my intuition, of God, of Source, without anything external, literally no references, no tarot cards, no crystals, no nothing. Like, I don't care for it. I don't want it, because literally I know ultimately I can hold myself at a higher capacity. That is the kind of level of strength and intuitive embodiment and like genuine connection with God and Source that you can have for yourself, okay? Even in the sense of like you seeking guidance from other intuitives or other people, like genuinely, if people don't understand these things and they don't understand how each situation can genuinely be, you can shed light on them so they can help you expand and like help you build a firmer bond and foundation for yourself. People can tell you like inaccurate intuitive advice just because they're reading your emotions versus like the ultimate source truth, what your higher self genuinely is trying to put into your field by giving you this strain to help you move forward and push that momentum forward. So I wanted to give you this example because I wanted you to kind of play around with this idea of like, okay, if I'm going through something right now, how can I use this to my advantage? Where can I shed light on it? And this all comes back to knowing and understanding truthfully how every single circumstance is genuinely giving you an opportunity to set a firm foundation for yourself and to shed light on aspects of yourself that you're not seeing and where you can build them even more to push you even further. Okay. So if you were to like even think about certain things that happen in your life, I know with me, when my ex and I separated, I already like intuitively, I knew this was going to be the best thing for me. Like it was going to help me so, so fucking much. But of course, my human side was like, I need to get back together with this man. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, literally lost puppy, could not fucking find myself and felt so uncomfortable. But I knew intuitively, like, because I had that understanding already, even on like a mental state or mental sense, I had the understanding already that I knew that this was going to help me. It was just actually genuinely using my intuition and getting my emotions that were, running off of the subconscious programming of abandonment, that this was actually the best fucking thing ever for me. And now, like, I am literally so grateful every single fucking day that my ex and I are not together. And I am where I'm at because of how the way things ended with him and where it propelled me. And I'm sure that you can use the same example for different type of situations in your life where you're like, I'm so glad this fucking happened to me, because if it wasn't for this, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have had this trigger, and then I wouldn't have started doing this, and domino effect, domino effect, domino effect. So I wanted you to kind of play around with this idea with something current in your life right now and see how it can actually, like, how you can shed light on it. Like, how can you genuinely shed light on it? And intuition is a very beautiful thing that you can literally train all the fucking time. Like, all the fucking time. Start learning and becoming very observant of how you hold yourself, how you hold your emotions, what comes up for you. Like, when you get gut feelings about something, where does it show up in your body? And start playing around with it. Like, you really have to experiment with a lot of these things, because that is the best way that you're going to be able to tell how it sits with you, how it genuinely sits with you. But all right, my loves, I told you, short, sweet, and simple. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. It was literally less than 15 minutes. So I am so excited to have Source Diva class drop on Saturday. I hope to see you in there, and I'm sending you all the love. Mwah. Besitos.